Hello and welcome to The Frame. We begin with the unofficial results of the preliminary District 2 School Committee election, as challenger Lorena Tovar and incumbent David Gordon received enough votes to advance to November's municipal election. Voters took to the polls this Tuesday, September 16th, as Tovar wound up with the most votes, 146 tallies compared to Gordon's 81, and challenger Luther Evans's 24. Tovar's campaign manager, Esta Montano, told The Frame that their camp is quote-unquote thrilled with the results, adding that they're looking forward to connecting with District 2's residents ahead of the municipal election in the fall. Gordon thanked residents for their support and their comments leading up to the election as well, adding in a statement to The Frame that he will be, quote, putting students first. Out of the roughly 5,500 registered District 2 voters, unofficial results show that 252 residents, or about 4.5%, cast a ballot in this preliminary race. Tovar is now set to face Gordon, who's been serving in the D2 school committee role since he was appointed back in 2022, in the citywide election in a matter of weeks. Elsewhere in District 2, the area's city council seat will also be up for grabs in November. Incumbent City Councilor Brandon Ward will be facing a challenge from Carol Spack, the former chair of the planning board back when Framingham was still a town. Both candidates recently stopped by our studio to discuss their decision to run, their priorities, and why they think they're the best choice to represent District 2. Here's a preview of our conversations.
When I landed in Framingham, I found a community that really wrapped its arm around me, and so that's stuck with me my entire life. It's why I moved back to Framingham. To be able to give that kind of welcoming and inclusive embrace to all residents is something I care really deeply about.
I would say this is resuming my public service. I grew up in Framingham, I moved away, I came back in 1993, and I have been here since then. I know the town, I love the town.
Yeah.
I know we're now legally a city and would like to contribute.
Those full interviews with Ward and Spack can be found on our website, theframe.news, along with Access Framingham's channel on YouTube. Sticking with the upcoming local election, Access Framingham will be hosting a mayoral debate forum on Sunday, September 28th. Both incumbent Charlie Sisitsky as well as challenger Jeff Epstein will be at the Framingham Public Library's main branch to discuss the top issues in the race, including questions sent in by residents. You're invited to submit your questions to the candidates via email. You can send them to elections@accessfram.tv. Again, that's elections@accessfram.tv. Doors to the Costin Room at the library will open at 2 o'clock that afternoon, and the forum will run from 2:30 to 3:30. AFTV will be live streaming the event online and will be made available following its conclusion as well. A reminder that Election Day in Framingham is Tuesday, November 4th. The registration deadline for the municipal election is Saturday, October 25th. Scores of people spoke out against a proposal to revamp the local women's prison this past weekend. The Free Her March made its way to MCI-Framingham this past Saturday the 13th, as protesters advocated against a plan estimated to cost $360 million to renovate the nearly 150-year-old facility.
Keep her home! Keep her home! Keep her home! Bring her home! Keep her home! Bring her home!
Back in June, Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey outlined the plan, which will aim to downsize MCI-Framingham from 260,000 to 200,000 square feet while reducing the number of beds and providing medical, mental health, educational, and job training resources according to her administration. However, groups such as Families for Justice as Healing, a Massachusetts-based organization that's part of the National Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls, believe the plan would be misusing public money, adding that it fails to address concerns related to sexual misconduct, poor living conditions, and overall mismanagement at the local prison. In a letter addressed to Healey, the group wrote, quote, "We were never concerned with the physical structure of Framingham. We were concerned with the violence, control, and dehumanization embedded in the system itself. No new building can fix what is fundamentally broken," end quote. Members of Families for Justice's Healing have requested a meeting with Healey to discuss this topic, adding that increased clemency, alongside resources such as healthcare, childcare, and employment opportunities should be made available. More details on that story and the other top stories that we cover every week on the program can be found on our website, www.theframe.news. We have additional details in our written articles, full feature pieces we've completed across the community, and a calendar filled with upcoming local events. Be sure that you're subscribed to our email newsletter so that you never miss out on Framingham News in Focus. In case you weren't aware, our friends over at the Framingham Education Channel will be airing the Game of the Week for Framingham High School sports this fall. All season long, you can turn into FEC-TV for key games as the Flyers hit the court and the field. One of those recent games was the boys' varsity soccer team's match against their rivals from Natick High. Late into stoppage time, both teams were scoreless until senior Kenny Correa flew down the pitch with just seconds left on the clock and buried a shot to send his teammates into hysteria and to give Framingham the big 1-0 victory. The Framingham Education Channel will be live at Bowditch Field next Friday, September 26th, to broadcast the Framingham High varsity football game against Braintree High. Tune in to FEC-TV at 6 o'clock that night to catch the action. The Framingham Education Channel is Astound HD Channel 1101 and SD Channel 15, Comcast Channel 8, and Verizon Channel 41. And finally this week, a preview of our latest frame-by-frame segment. Farm Pond is the latest site for Parkrun, which is a nationwide series of free 5K events that invite community members to run, jog, walk, or even just spectate. We spoke with planners and participants to learn more about the importance of connecting with their community through Parkrun and what people can expect at Farm Pond every Saturday morning. Let's take a look.
3, 2, 1, go!
Parkrun at its core are free, friendly 5K events.
I personally have a hard time motivating myself to get out and run completely alone. You can kind of feel the energy and get motivated by running with a big group of people.
So it's really one of those foundational ideas of getting people outside and moving.
As always, you can find that full frame-by-frame segment on our social media pages. Our home on Instagram is @FrameNews_, and you can search for The Frame on Facebook as well. We encourage you to follow us for more local news. Also, subscribe to Access Framingham's YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new content. You can watch or listen to full episodes of The Frame on Spotify. Be sure to follow us there, too. That's all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. For our entire team here at The Frame, thanks for joining us. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.